And J.K. Rowling looks back on the family illness that shaped her and her Harry Potter books.
You know, life has its ups and downs, so Harry's been with me through a lot.
The author and the health cause that's still close to her heart. If there's one name I thought I would never utter on your total health, it is this one, Harry Potter. 7 books, 17 years in the making, remarkable, but it is Harry's creator who caught our interest. J.K. Rowling and her story of illness, loss, and triumph.
Immediately after finishing writing, I was very hard to live. The first 2 days were terrible.
For J.K. Rowling, releasing the 7th and final book in the Harry Potter series has been bittersweet. On the one hand, a smashing success. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows sold a record-breaking 15 million copies in the 24 hours after it hit the shelves. But then there's the difficult matter of saying goodbye to the character who's been part of Rowling's life for 17 years.
What is probably hard for people to imagine is how wrapped up this 17 years' work is with what was going on in my life at the time. You know, life has its ups and downs, so Harry's been with me through a lot.
Harry Potter first entered Joanne Rowling's life back in 1990, a flash of inspiration during a train ride from Manchester, England to London.
Nothing had ever come so with such a... I thought, God, I'd love to write that. And when I got off the train, I went straight home and I started writing.
Writing is something Rowling's been doing since she was a little girl, growing up in a village in the west of England. She remembers one tale she conjured up about an adventurous rabbit named Rabbit.
And I illustrated it myself too, and showed it to my mother, who, as mothers do, was rhapsodized and said how wonderful it was.
Fast forward many years, and Rowling was 25, living in London. She kept the Harry Potter story to herself. Her mother, she remembers, was gravely ill at the time.
She never knew. I never told her. She would have loved this. She would, I mean, just in the sense that any mother wants to know that their child is successful. That's a massive regret that I didn't at least tell her.
After a 10-year battle with multiple sclerosis, Anne Rowling died on December 30th, 1990, 6 months after her daughter started writing the first Harry Potter book.
Definitely Mum dying had a profound influence on the books, because in the first draft his parents were disposed of really in quite a almost cavalier fashion. I didn't really dwell on it. 6 months in, my mother dies, and I simply can't kill a fictional mother that callously. I'm not saying it wasn't callous, but it wasn't what it became. And I really think from that moment on, death became a central, if not the central theme of the 7 books.
And it became a theme for Rowling herself.
I was 25 and she was only 45 when she died. And I think it was the fact of her dying that young that it put a depth charge under me in my life. And suddenly it seemed to me that, as it still does, you just can't count on having 80 years. You'd better move if there's something you want to do or say, get it done.
As the creator of the Harry Potter franchise, Rowling is now one of the richest women in the world. But what is less known is how she uses some of that good fortune, donating money and time to various multiple sclerosis research groups.
I wanted to raise awareness of MS, primarily because it was the illness that my mother had.
And now that Harry Potter's story has been told, Rowling gets a chance to work on her personal story.
I'm going to take a break, definitely, and I'm just going to savour for a while the feeling that I don't have a deadline. And that's a privilege, you know, and I know that I'm the luckiest woman in the world. I'm immensely privileged.
Not surprisingly, Rowling dedicated both the first and last Harry Potter books in part to her mother. And that's it.